Hello, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge. First off, you're going to notice I'm in a different place today. Longtime viewers will know that this is the seat that's called It's Hot in Jen's House and she needs a more comfortable seat. So normally when I film in front of my beautiful books over there, but today we're sitting here. Also, I have a massive book haul for you guys. Got about 18 books to get through, and when my books pile up that high, it's like I have to do the book haul, otherwise I forget which ones I'm doing. So before we jump in, if you go ahead and click the thumbs up for me for this video, as well as if you would hit subscribe over here, it means so much to me. I'm really trying to grow my channel and give you guys the best content you can, and it just really encourages me when you decide you want to hear from me whenever I post. I post 2 to 3 times weekly. I do obviously book hauls, book reviews. I'm going to be doing Emoji-a-thon in September. Have some books for that, which I'm going to go over today. And then, so please join the party here at the Book Refuge. I like it to be a safe space where we can talk about books and be nerdy together. So if that interests you, come on and join my community here. It is wonderful. So without further ado, let's jump into this. You might need yourself something to drink or a snack because this one's going to take a while. I'm going to try to go as quick as I can, but it happens. So anyway, here we go. First up, I want to start with the books I just purchased that will be for Emoji-a-thon. So on this list, which I'll be doing a full video going over my TBR because there's 25 different emojis that each stand for a different challenge, and you can stack them, double up, triple up as much as you can. And I was able to get it to 10 books, I think, that I have for Emoji-a-thon for the month of September. There is Vinyl by Sophia Elaine Hansen. This one is, I believe this is a self-published, super exciting, but I don't know anything about it. The cover is super creepy. Most of these books today I don't know anything about. I don't like to know too much, so if you want to know more, of course, look up any one of these books. I know this one I think is kind of like a dystopian thriller type one, Vinyl is. Next, I have Out of Beat by Cassandra Giovanni. This is a contemporary romance. Looks super cute, super fun looking. Very excited about it. Next is Letters to the Lost by Bridget Kimmerer. This one I've seen all over the place. Murphy Napier, I think this is one of her favorite books. So I'm glad that it was on this readathon because it gives me an excuse to read it. I'm not much up for sad books though. So that's one of the reasons I'd hesitated, but I've heard beautiful things about it. And so I believe this is Spence's pick. No, Radio Silence is Spence's pick. This is someone else's pick, but I'm excited to read it. Then Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. And I know this was Spence's pick. So I'm very excited. Again, I don't really know anything about any 4 of these, but they're for the readathon. And that's one of the reasons I was excited for it, because it made me pick books that I wouldn't have picked, but they all seem really interesting and they're all from pretty different genres. So that's really cool. We have Blood Will Out by Joe Trigari. I'm currently reading this one. I'm about 60 pages in. This is a contemporary thriller. This girl named Ari wakes up in the bottom of a cistern, which you can kind of tell that's what this cover is her view looking up. She wakes up and doesn't remember how she got there. So it's told from her point of view as well from the point of view of the person who did it to her, who you don't know who it is, at least at the point that I'm at. And so she's going over the last events that she remembers leading up to how she got there. I have no idea how she's going to get out of this. It's a bit scary for me, but I'm trying my best to get through it, which I should, because it's pretty small, but getting through that. Next, just today, I picked up this beautiful copy of Pride and Prejudice. I have been looking for a really pretty copy, and I want a hardcover as well, I want a pretty tome for my classics library, but this is just so beautiful, and it was on the $5 rack at Barnes & Noble that I just had to get it. The only copy of Pride and Prejudice that I have is the old Barnes & Noble style classics, and I just thought it was so pretty. I love the outline. Anyway, so I picked that up. Then I picked up A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. I don't know anything about this. It was on the sale rack as well. I know this is book 1 in the All Souls trilogy, and I've heard it compared to, I have no clue if this is right, but like Twilight with like other creatures in it. I'm trash for Twilight, always have been, always will be, but it's also sold as like a tale of wizardry, science, and forbidden love. So I think there's like witches, wizards, and vampires and stuff. So I was like, well, I'll give it a try. Who knows when I will get to this, but it's also my favorite kind of book. I love when they're like floppy like this, and it's hard to like bend them out of shape. So it's beautiful. I know this is the first in a trilogy. My bookseller also said it was really good, so we shall see. Next, I picked up Not Even Bones by Rebecca Schaeffer. This is a bit of a supernatural slash serial-ish killer slash bunch of things I heard. I've just seen this on Bookstagram. Somebody put up a picture of it and it looked so cool with just a scalpel. But the sell of this is that Nita's mother sells people's body parts on the black market, and so the dead bodies get brought before Nita, and she dissects the people and gets the body parts that people have bought on their way. Well, one day she saves someone who isn't dead. Someone who isn't dead is brought to her table, and she's supposed to dissect them, and she doesn't. She lets them go. And so in exchange, they take her to be auctioned off because she actually has a special ability. So that's the twist, is like the body parts that the black market is buying are like they're magical or they have abilities, and so that's why people are buying them. And I guess she has an ability that people really want. It looks super creepy and thrilling, and lately I've kind of been in the mood for thrillers. It just, depends on how creepy it gets, but it looks super cool, so we're doing it. Next, I got The Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. I'd been seeing this all over BookTube and Bookstagram. It's so beautiful. Some of the pictures for it are great. All that I know is that this is The Little Mermaid from the witch's point of view. I'm willing to give it a try. It is gorgeous, so I picked that up. Here's another one that I know absolutely nothing about, and that's These Rebel Waves by Sarah Rosh. I literally don't know anything about it except it says a little magic is revolutionary. It's gorgeous. Complete impulse / cover buy. I do that quite often. Even though, I've said this before. I totally believe in like buying a book based on its cover. I will buy books as well as the cover not being beautiful, but it's a good way to get me to pick up your book if it's pretty. Next is a book that I actually have already read, like I bought it and read it in one day, and that is Meet the Sky by McCall Hoyle. It is beautiful. It was super sweet. I'm about to film a review for this one specifically too, but this one is about this girl who, it's another one of those cases where a crush that she had, like things went badly, and he was gone for a while, and now he ends up back in her life, and she doesn't want to talk to him, doesn't want anything to do with him because he ditched her before a school dance, which that's totally cliche. However, the parts about it that aren't cliche is that her and her mother they are in an island right outside of South Carolina. It's by Nag's Head, which I've actually heard about before because my dad likes the name Nag's Head, and so anyway, but there's a hurricane coming in and they have to make it to the mainland so that they're safe, and she and her ex-crush end up stuck on the island for a couple of days during the hurricane. It was really cute, really quick. It definitely has some other things going on, which I'm not gonna obviously spoil. This is only a book haul. This isn't even a book review for it, but it was really cute and great, and I really enjoyed it. I just picked this one up today, which is funny because I'm really into the contemporaries lately. I'm having to eat my words about it. But so this one is Echoes by Alice Reeds. And this one again is about these two kids who don't like each other. Fiona and Miles, they're enemies, school enemies. And they end up stranded on an island and they have no idea how they got there. Sold. Totally into it. So it looks cool. I love desert island stories. They're actually like a secret favorite of mine, which is really funny. So anyway, this seems super interesting. I'm all about it. This one looks really touching, and also there's a funny story behind it. So at my today I just found this one. It's called Tone Deaf by Olivia Rivers, and so it's about this musical prodigy who had a brain tumor and now she's deaf. So she's lost her hearing, and she has an abusive father, and things are starting to get pretty bad. And she wins a contest to go behind their backstage for this one band, and the lead singer, his name is Jace, and apparently he's kind of a jerk and she doesn't want anything to do with him, but he notices that she's being abused, and so he offers to help her escape. So this book is supposed to have ASL in it. We'll see. I'm not the best person to judge representation. I fully will say that, but I'm going into it with open mind. I've liked books in the past that have had good deaf representation, but I've also liked the ones that have had bad representation, just because I'm not the right person to judge. If the story's good, I don't normally notice those things. So I just want to be really honest with you guys. If you've read it and you've heard it's really bad, please make me aware so that I can put that in my review of it if it's not good. Then also in it, I found this cool note. Somebody put it in it with their Instagram on it. Their names are the Bookish Babes, and it just says love E and B. So I looked them up on Instagram, and I sent them a picture that I found this, which I thought was super cool, that another bookstagrammer was in my Barnes and Noble. Who knows if they were there, if this book just ended up there somehow. Who knows? But anyway, I look forward to giving this a try, because I love reading books with deaf characters in it and with ASL in it. So we'll see how good it is. But it seems like an interesting story with a couple touchy subjects, but we'll see. I have Green Rider and First Rider's Call by Kristen Britton. I've talked about these a little bit already in different videos because I'm trying to read Green Rider. I'm just not getting into it yet, which is okay because I have a lot of other books to read. It's fine. But the day that I bought it, I was in the mood for a high fantasy. And this one's about a girl named Kerrigan de Ladion, who she gets kicked out of school, and on her way back home from that school, she comes across this Green Rider, who they are the secret message service for the king, and he has been attacked and he's dying, and he swears her in to get his important message to the king. And so far nothing's really happened, which doesn't, I feel like in high fantasy, they're building the world, but I have high hopes because the girl, I can tell she's going to be kicked butt already, and there's horses, and I love all those things. So anyway, I'm going to give it a try. I know there's a total of 7 books in this series, and I just bought the first 2 because, if I don't like it, I didn't want to have all of them. Next, I have A Touch of Gold by Annie Sullivan. This is a story, a reimagining of King Midas, who had the golden touch, which was a Greek myth that everything he touched turned to gold. And it's about his daughter Cora, to see in the different struggles that she's going through having a father who has this curse because he can't touch or hug his children, which was the curse of Midas. So we'll see. I've heard some good things. It's beautiful looking. I'm willing to give this a try for sure. I love Greek myths and retellings of them. Let's look at this one. Just kind of plain, but I'm willing to give it a try. Finally, I have Sanctuary by Karen Lix. And this one is about a girl who her family works at an interstellar prison for gifted or cursed teenagers, something like that. And she gets taken hostage by them, and her parents run the prison, I guess. And her parents don't save her, so she has to try to save herself and maybe make friends with the inmates if that's what it takes. And that's all that I know about it. So, yeah. There we go. That was my huge book haul. I can't even hold all these books up. You'll have to look at the picture and be happy with that. But thank you so much for sticking around. As always, thank you for stopping by, coming to the Book Refuge. I'm happy to be your safe place to talk about books and be nerdy together. So we will see you next time.